Hi guys, it's Renee. How are you? Welcome back yet again to my undying enthusiasm about fragrances and makeup and all things pretty. Anyways, yo, I've been out here shopping. Just because I haven't been on YouTube talking to you guys about what I've been buying does not mean that the obsession has stopped. It's not. It's going strong. Rest assured, it's going strong. My bank book is crying. Anyways, moving on. Let's get to it. So I have been compelled, motivated, brought heretofore by force. No, none of these things. But so it's cooler in some places of the world. In Florida, we out here. I mean, I don't know. We out here sending migrants to, anyway, let's not get into that. What else? It is still in the 80s. So for all you people who are super excited about fall and pumpkin spice and all of this shit, not Florida. But I think you can still get the pumpkin spice latte at Starbucks. I think it started already for all you people who are super excited about that. So in the spirit of pumpkin spice latte and some degree of coolness in the subtropical region in Florida, I thought I would come and talk to you about some of the things that I am excited to wear for fall. All right, so one of the houses that I discovered recently was Maison de Darius, and he is a Black-owned perfumer. He's a single perfumer. I believe he's self-taught, that operates out of Maryland, my former hometown. I'm not going, the DMV area, we out here. Anyways, so he had some new things in stock, and I decided to pick up a couple. And then, guys, I took all of the ones that I bought and I took them abroad with me on vacation. And so for 2.5 weeks, that was all that I used. And I'm here to tell you about this in my fall perfumes that I'm excited to wear. So we're gonna start with, so I can't decide which one's my favorite, right? Like, I love them all, but the 3 that I think are appropriate for the fall season, we're gonna start with those. And so we will start with Metanoia. Look at the packaging. He's going through some different changes to try to figure out like what he likes his bottles to look like. So far, this is the latest iteration of that. But most of these, of the 3 that I'm gonna show you, all have a very heavy amber base, which makes them very appropriate for sweater weather, boo, because amber is cozy. Metanoia is, I'm gonna be honest, like, the first one that I smelled was Eunoia, and then the one that I have worn the most while I was abroad is Metanoia. I don't know if you can tell how much I've used. These are 30cc bottles. But this is a pretty much an amber fragrance with like a little bit of florals, some degree of like some aromatics in here. There's supposed to be cumin in here. There's supposed to be jasmine in here. The jasmine is a very sweet jasmine. Jasmine can be kind of indolic in certain aspects of it. But there is like, you wouldn't know that there was jasmine if you didn't just like read the notes. Mostly it's an amber fragrance with like a hint of like a little bit of sweatiness, the slightest degree of sweatiness, and a slight bit of florals just to add a spice of interest. But for the most part, this is an amber fragrance, and I love it. The next one from this house that is perfect for sweater weather is Eunoia. That's how I say it. He has a whole pronunciation thing on his website. Y'all go look that up. Oh, I tried, I failed. We're moving on. And this one, again, another amber fragrance. And this has more interesting things up front. This is pretty aromatic up top. It smells almost a little bit green up top, and like a little bit herbaceous. And you kind of have to be okay with that, because that does not go away for a bit. However, at the heart and at the base of this fragrance, it's essentially an amber fragrance. This one, more so than Metanoia, sits closer to the skin, but for warm, cozy times, Eunoia. And then if you want to be pretty flirty and feminine while also being warm and cozy and inviting, we've got Nool. And you know what I love about this one is that the name is actually based around a Somalian concept. And I believe, according to his website, Nool means woman alive. And I'm about that, because if I am nothing else, I am very lively. But this is gorgeous. This is pretty. There's lots of fruity florals and amber, but it is primarily a fruity floral amber fragrance, and it is gorgeous. Ladies, for anybody who's watching, like, I would say Metanoia and Eunoia are unisex. This is primarily feminine leaning. So have at it, but it's very pretty, warm and cozy for the fall. All right, so now that we're done with Maison and Darius, let's move on to the rest. In keeping with the warm and cozy, we're going to go with Benjoin Bohéme from Diptyque. Now, don't look at this and think that I used all of this. This is a pre-owned bottle that I purchased when this was very hard to obtain. And this is essentially a balmy Benjoin heavy fragrance. It's very balsamic. The Benjoin is in here, like all aspects of it. There is something sort of like heavy about it, a little bit sticky, that sticky icky, not that sticky icky, but it is a little sticky, sort of like toffee, you know, with all of the warmth and coziness that's associated with toffee. It is very cozy. I don't find this to be very long lasting, nor do I find this to project very heavily, but this is certainly a fragrance that you would wear for yourself, and more so than for the enjoyment of others. It is perfect for date nights. It is perfect for layering. It is perfect for spraying on your scarf. If you are in that part of the world where you're able to wear those things, and just tucking it in around your neck so that you can enjoy the wafts when the breeze blows. Benjoin Bohéme by Diptyque. All right, we're gonna move on to a little bit of spicy things, and we will start with Amouage Boundless. I'm mad that the testers don't come with the caps anymore. Not about that life. This is so boring. Amouage, what are y'all doing? Anyways, this was released along with Materials. This is their version of the different ways in which we can play with vanilla. The other one is Material. I have that one, but not here with me. This is super spicy, kind of woody, very aromatic, and long lasting. There's a lot like blood orange and elemi in the beginning, but when I spray it on my skin, I don't get a lot of that. What I get is a lot of the cinnamon, and it feels like that there is a lot of woods in here, maybe some agarwood. I haven't looked up all of the notes, mostly because I'm more concerned about what it wears like on my skin as opposed to like what the notes are, because sometimes all the notes come together just to form accords, but like it still matters what your skin's chemistry is, right? What you get out of the perfume. For instance, as I mentioned, elemi and blood orange are up front in this according to the notes, and I don't get any citrusy aspects, you know, on my skin, a lot of it. I do get it when I smell from the nozzle, but like when I spray onto my skin, it's cinnamon up front. There's like a little sticky, just sort of like spicy element that as if there's something more there. You know how a Papanax or myrrh can have that like aromatic nature to it. It smells a lot like that, and then kind of a little bit leathery, and mostly just woody and spicy, and then it dries down to this nice ambery, heavy, dark vanilla at the base. And all of that is perfect for fall, right? Because baby, this will bloom in the cold weather. Y'all go ahead. Also, if you're going to some place where you're going to want to change your clothes, or this ain't it. This bad boy doesn't go away. You know, it's like that very loyal employee that doesn't want to check out, and you've got to like go home, take a vacation, you know, leave us alone. It's not clocking out early. It came to work. It's putting in the work. You getting your money. And I'm not mad at it. I love Amouage. Amouage is one of my favorite houses. All right, so moving on to the things that I have just one off here. We're gonna switch gears, and we're going, well, no, actually, let me stay with this one. So, because then we're gonna switch gears and talk about the nice and polite things. So before we get to the polite things, let's talk about the dirty, nasty things. And that is Stercus, baby. This is Stercus by Orto Parisi. Stercus, for those of us who does not know, what kind of English is that? What that? I don't know. Stercus, for those of us who are unaware, means manure, feces, dung, in Latin. And I understand that Mr. Gantier intended for you to get somewhat of a fecal nature from that. The way the oud is fixed in here is a little bit funky up front. It's a little funky. Now, for those of us who like to talk about the fecal nature of some animalic perfumes, I don't find this oud that is very present up front to be stinky. It is funky, but not all funk is bad, you know. Your body funk, our bodies as human beings has a degree of funk, but we ain't stinking unless some of us don't bathe. But we're not talking about your personal hygienes or your issues. We're talking about a natural funk that sometimes comes with existing, you know? So it's a little funky. I find the funk to be particularly pleasant. And I wear this in public. I wear this to work. I've never had anybody complain that I stink. And if they did, if they were to complain, they would know better to keep it to themselves. But this I find actually to be a little bit funky up front. There is like a cinnamony chocolate aspect to it. You know, there's sort of like a powderiness that I assume can come from either like cacao or like tonka bean, and woods, so many woods, and a little bit of musk. But I mean, I love this bad boy. I love it. I have 3 of them, Seminalis and Bocanero, and I think Bocanero and what's the other one? Teroni are the ones that are really popular from him, but I don't know. Stercus has my heart. Stercus has my heart, and I think it would be amazing. It smells great on me. It would be amazing on a man. And it is great for sweater weather. Check it out. Now, ladies, don't just leave that to the men. This, you know, on a woman, listen, you put on some pencil skirts, you put on a nice pair of heeled boots, a little bit of a leather jacket, spray some of that around the bottom half of your body, and then something like nice and ambery on top. You picking up what I'm putting down? I hope you are. All right, now let's move on to the polite portion of the evening that would do well in the cooler weather. And this is Pearl Oud by Kilian. Now, this is the only one of, I was gonna say this is the only Kilian that I own, but I have another one somewhere around here. But this now, again, I love oud. This is the politest rose oud fragrance I have ever come across, guys. The oud in here, and for the price that this is, it better have real oud in here. But the oud in here is just the smoothest thing. There's something like sort of leathery also, and the rose is so innocuous. To me, you get a lot of the rose, but it is a very polite rose. The oud, it smells more like woods with like a hint of interest. And then there's like the smoothest leather. This is classy. You know, if you wanted to, if you had like a work holiday party, and you didn't want to offend anybody, but you wanted to smell classy and elegant and expensive, this is your holiday perfume to not offend people but still smell good. Also, if you want to stunting folks, this is it. Another one for stunting on these folks during your holiday parties is Ytzma. Ytzma by Royal Crown. I presume it's Ytzma. That's how I'm saying it. Please feel free to correct me if I am wrong. Now, this perfume by Royal Crown has, if you've checked out the Fragrantica profile, it has like 10,000 notes. It's not quite as bad as some of those Spirit of Dubai ones that like has a note list this long. But it has a lot of notes in it, and none of them matter because this is blended so smooth. It is just, it's like silk, baby. But silk that has been, you know, somebody has been smoking a nice cigar around that silk scarf, and then there's something sort of like sweet and not, I don't want to say sticky, but just syrupy and smooth. Like the number one thing to describe this is smooth and silky and nice tobacco, but like not one of those harsh cigars where, you know, you're like smoking and then coughing and dying. Not those. This is very much like that sexy gentleman, you know, like James Bond is out on the patio, like having a dirty martini and a cigar, and he takes like one little smooth sip and then blows a smoke ring and then looks at you and your panties come off. Like, that's how smooth this is. That's the vibe that it gives. All right, so now we're heading into like some of my favorite things here, okay? We're gonna move those on over and we're gonna bring in this bad boy. Do you see? Listen, ladies, if you're trying to kill your husband, hit him with this. This thing is so heavy. Lord have mercy. It is so heavy. You could brain somebody. Like it, if you hurt somebody, it ain't an accident. First of all, this bitch is expensive. So if you're gonna throw it at somebody, you better mean it. However, don't waste your money trying to kill somebody with this bottle. Just enjoy the fragrance. This is Electimuss, and this is Amber Aquilaria. Now, this is made with a specific type of oud from the Aquilaria tree, and apparently it's real expensive. And I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I paid my money for this, and I have gotten everything out of it that I thought I would get, and I'm not mad. This baby is just, you know, it's sexy. It's sexy. I'm gonna be honest though. I'm gonna be honest. It's masculine. It is. This would be amazing on a hot, sexy man, preferably one without clothing. It's a man's fragrance. It is, there's sort of not root beer, but like a cola, like it's a dark soda up front, and it's fizzy. According to the notes breakdown, there's like bergamot or something up front. I don't get that. What I do get is the cognac. It is fizzy, it is boozy, it is smooth, and then there's a lot of woody amber at the base. There's something kind of like a little bit salty, and there's something almost a little bit leathery in how it plays on my skin, but for the most part it's a woody amber fragrance, and with a like hint of interest from the oud. It's kind of, the oud feels almost cola like in there, and it's great. It's great. I wear this. I may not smell the most feminine when I wear this, but I'm wearing it still. And ladies, I recommend that you wear it too. Because sometimes the duality is nice. The contrast is nice. You know, you're dressed up very feminine and then you have this interesting, unexpected fragrance. I find that it draws people in, or at least that has been my experience. You know, let it see what it might do for you during sweater weather. I guarantee you that this will smell bomb during sweater weather. All right, now for my two last ones, and these are my absolute faves, guys. Just in case you couldn't tell, my favorite things are ambers. I don't know if you didn't pick up on the commonality here. Ambers, I love ambers. Okay, and with that in mind, we are going to talk about my last two things, and these are ambers from Maitre, Perfumier et Gantier, which means master, perfumer, and glove maker. And this is a part of their amber trilogy. Now, the ones most people are more familiar with is Ambré, Mythique, and Perso, but there is also Dore. And I don't know which one I love more, guys. I don't know. It's so hard. These are some big bottles, by the way. It's 120 mils, so they're kind of pricey, but you're getting your money's worth. Like this one is like they're $200, I think, like, or $250, something of that nature, but you're getting your money's worth for 120 mils. So let's start with this one, because this is the one that this is not crowd pleasing at all. This is Ambré Perso with oud, and this oud is pungent. I will not lie to you. It's pungent. Jesus. Hold on a second, guys. Hold on. God, I love this. It is so good. I know that the oud is pungent. I know it's pungent. It's a little bit smoky. It's a little bit leathery. It's a little bit salty. That labdanum like is in here. It's sort of ashy, but then like at the base of it, as it like settles down to the life of the fragrance, it just smooths out into like a nice silky smooth layer, and it just blankets you and comforts you, or at least that's how I feel about it. But I enjoy the pungentness of the oud up front. I enjoy the smoky, salty, ashy portions of it up front. It's a little bit aromatic as well. I love this. This is my bedtime scent a lot. And as you can see, it came full all the way up to the top. It's not as if I'm not using this, but you don't require a lot either. I'm hashtag team overspray all day, every day. I don't care. You can choke and die. And I mean it. However, like you don't need to overspray this. It does the job. And I love wearing it to bed. Now, for the one that I will wear out in public, loud and proud, we'll move on to my last fragrance that I wish to share with you guys, and this is Mythique. Now, this bad boy, I've sprayed a little bit more of this. This bad boy right here, baby, this is supposed to have opium in it. And I believe it, because it is like crack. It is addictive. I have sprayed this several times and worn it to work. And I noticed that people like step real close and try to like, what are you wearing? They get real close. So if you don't want that experience, don't wear this to work. Or anywhere except for your loved ones, or your boo things, or your situationship, whatever it is you're getting into this holiday season, this cold weather. It's cuffing season, people. Is your roster lined up? It's cuffing season. So I would suggest that you try this out. Mythique, it will not disappoint. If you like ambers, this will not disappoint you. This is an amazing fragrance. There is something very aromatic about this fragrance, and the incense is very heavy in here as well. And the incense is upfront. You know, most amber fragrances or a lot of other fragrances that are not primarily incense-based fragrances, the incense tends to be at the heart or the base of the fragrance. The incense is very present upfront. It smells kind of like a church. And then there is something sort of herbaceous or green, a little bit minty up front. There's supposed to be geranium, there's supposed to be clary sage, I think, which I suppose accounts for like that herbaceous minty thing up front. But primarily that fades very quickly. It's primarily an incense and amber fragrance that has like a powdery nature to it. And then as it dries down, it is just warm, inviting, and there's a certain weight to it. It's kind of not heavy per se, but it's a fragrance that I do feel on my skin as I'm wearing it. But I find that to be very enjoyable for me. All right, guys, those are part of my fall lineup. Listen, we have too many fragrances. Like, I can't just wear all of this just only for fall, like, you know. So it's just a handful of the things I'm gonna be enjoying this fall. I would love to hear what you guys are gonna be wearing, or see what you guys are gonna be wearing. Drop it in the comment section. Let me know. Thanks. Have a good day.